Hello, bird nerds. Hello, plant nerds. Hello, enthusiasts for providing somewhere to live for the birds and animals that live around you. Now, oh, I've got a bit of a chord discrepancy issue happening here. What's going on? All right, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Am I being heard? All right, folks. Today we're going to be examining um, some plants that are suitable for feeding native finches. And what I would like to do is share um, a file. How do we do this? How do we do this? Not that one. Window. Okay, we'll do that. And let's go to. Okay, cool. We can do this. Fantastic. We're going to do two things. Let's get this shared. Where are we? Why is it not sharing? That's weird. Share screen. Window. Uh, Share. Oh, it looks like it's not going to cooperate. Okay, we'll go back to we'll go back to we'll go back to plan one, where I'll just talk about them. And then the good news is that I have worked out how we're going to share them, share all these documents, and we will be uh, we'll be popping them up on Patreon and on Substack, and putting short lists up on uh, Buy Me a Coffee for the interim, and I'll start on that this afternoon. So there we are. Now, who's here today? Who's here? Looks like I've only got no one on, nobody on YouTube. What's going on? Let's check for sure that we are live. And I think we are. Double checking, double checking. I usually do this before we go live, but it usually works, no problems. Yep, okay. YouTube's fine. All right, here we go. People are just late, or was that me? All right, let's start. Let's start with the uh, top native food plants for Australian finches, and I'm working through the climate zones, and then we'll give you some other information like how many of these uh, how many of the plant species preferred food food species for native finches are ripe or providing seed in each season. So let's start with the temperate zone, which of course is most of the populated areas of Australia. And the top 5 plants are not all grasses. 4 grasses and a melaleuca. Let's start with the melaleuca first. Melaleuca thymifolia, and I think I spoke about melaleucas last week. This particular one last week. The species that feed on it, that use it, are the red-browed finch and the diamond firetail. Now, what I've done too is tried to match the plant to a species or a couple of species, so that if you know you have that finch species in your area and that it might visit your garden, these would be plants for you uh, to grow, to use. Bless me. Okay. Theta triandra or Ostrothemata triandra, the kangaroo grass, that is a suitable food for the red-browed finch, the double-barred finch, and the zebra finch. Ostrostipa scabra, red-browed finch, diamond firetail. Microlina stipoides, red-browed finch, double-barred finch. And Lamandra longifolia, red-browed finch, diamond firetail. So that's the temperate zone. Subtropical zone, since we're moving north. Panicum decompositum, chestnut-breasted manakin, double-barred finch, and the zebra finch will all feed on that. Chloris guyana, chestnut-breasted manakin, zebra finch. Melnus repens, double-barred finch, zebra finch. Now, this is an interesting one. It's, again, not a grass. Hibiscus heterophyllus. Lots of finches will use it because insects will be found on that plant. So it's a particularly useful plant at finch breeding time. So any of the finches in the subtropical zone that may come across it are likely to browse for insects on it. And Ceteria surgens, chestnut-breasted manakin, and zebra finch. I guess there's no surprise that in the subtropical zone, the chestnut-breasted manakin is going to be using most of the grasses. Tropical zone. Now I know there's probably not many of you in this zone, but let's hopefully over time we'll get more listeners and watchers. Sorghum laocladum, Gouldian finch, crimson finch, masked finch, Triodia pungens, zebra finch, and masked finch. Panicum effusum, Gouldian finch, crimson finch, masked finch will all feed on this. Heteropogum contortus, masked finch, and the long-tailed finch. And Xerocloa imberbus, not a plant that I know. So I'll do some more hunting down on these. One of the things I did try and sort by when searching was that these were all available in native plant nurseries. Now, of course, I can't guarantee that, but that they were listed in at least one catalogue in the zone. So where do we get to? Xerocloa, imberbus or imberbus, crimson finch, chestnut-breasted mannikin. All right, and into the arid and semi-arid zone. Eragrostis australasica, zebra finch and masked finch. Enteropogon acicularis, Acicularis, zebra finch and Gouldian finch. So, of course, those first two species, if you happen to live in the zone where Gouldians live, you will want to be planting those. Portulaca oleracea. That's the little fleshy pig face that grows along, uh, uh, that you'll see growing in sandy regions with the fleshy leaves and the daisy-shaped flower, but often known as noon flower or what, portulaca. Zebra finch and long-tailed finch. It's an important seed food uh, supplier for both of those. Swainsona formosa. That's the Sturt Desert, not the Sturt Desert pea, but it is a pea flower, brilliant flower. So a lot of these pea flowering plants that I've mentioned many times are seed plants are food sources for browsing finches, but they're also important because insects feed on them. They're often a host species, Swainsona particularly, for native caterpillars. So the finches will browse on them while they are breeding and getting into breeding condition. Zebra finch particularly, and the Telotus obovatus. Now you might know uh, Telotus are those uh, plants that throw sort of a mauvey, fluffy flower along arid highways. You'll see them often. They'll be the only plant of note when you're watching like 4-wheel drive shows and documentaries of the desert. So Telotus are a important um, feed plant for zebra finches. Okay, where have we got to? Now, these are all just coastal plants. Now, of course, Australia has a coast that stretches through temperate, subtropical, tropical. Uh, so uh, you'll probably have to cross match these a little bit. Zoysia macrantha, well, you can guess from the finch species that are using these plants, you can guess which ones will be the suitable ones for subtropical, tropical, or temperate. Zoysia macrantha, double-barred finch, chestnut-breasted finch. So obviously subtropical and even temperate for that. But these are coastal zone plants. Spinifex sericius, uh, double-barred finch. So again, temperate, subtropical, and tropical if the plant will grow there. Ficinia nodosa. It's a plant that you want to have growing because it's ideal for providing nesting material and also cover, a place for finches to nest in. So many of the species that nest low down will use it. Poa poiformis, classic tufty grass, double-barred finch, and the red-browed finch. And Isolepsis nodosa. I know I've mentioned this many times when we're talking about plants that grow on the fringes of water. Uh, double-barred finch will feed on the seeds of the Isolepis nodosa. And finally, Cool temperate or the alpine zone. This is really Tasmania and the high country. Poa siberiana, red-browed finch, diamond firetail will browse on those seeds. Rhytidosperma. Uh, I always get this one wrong. Case pitosum. Luckily this will be available, right? Um, red-browed finch, diamond firetail. Lamandra filiformis, red-browed finch, diamond firetail. You might get an idea that the red-browed finch and the diamond firetail are the ones who are most likely to find in Tasmania or the subalpine alpine zone. Poa larballardieri, red-browed finch, diamond firetail, and the Danthonia racemosa, red-browed finch, double-barred finch. I did try and find some that were targeted at the beautiful firetail or the uh, red-eared firetail. Not a lot of information out there. I will keep searching. Okay. Now, what I wanted to sort of point out too is the seasonal availability of food um, or the plant species that are um, providing seed or that the insects are available at the right time. So I'll work across arid to semi-arid. In summer, there's really only 2 species that are available, but um, right through spring there'll be 6. So spring and summer is when most of the uh, plants are flowering or setting seed. In the coastal zone, again, it's summer and spring. In spring, in the coastal zone, 5 uh, 5 native plants in that zone are providing food. Um, I really don't think this information is as readily available as it needs to be. So I think I'll have to flesh these out with because I limited each little list to 5 species, but I could easily extend them out. Um, in the cool temperate and alpine zone, all of the food providers are flowering or seeding in spring. Subtropical zone, summer and spring. In the temperate zone, it's a bit more spread. You've got 2 species in summer, 1 species in autumn, and then what's that? 5 species in the spring. And in the tropical zone, there's seed food available all year, uh, pretty evenly split between spring and summer, and then there are important species in both winter and autumn. Now, the point of commenting on that is that when you are laying out your planting, provided you have space, you do want to make sure that you have a succession of food plants available over the um, over as much of the year as possible. Um, Now let me just have a check. I'm just going to check the socials and see if anyone's commenting or anything on. No, nothing there. So, questions? Have we got any questions or comments? Do you have finches in your visiting your garden? If you do, tell me where you are. Um, I've done another. I've done another list, which I'm not sure it'll go up today. It's probably one I'll put out in a couple of weeks. So I'm going to stagger releasing them. Obviously, that's what you do. Um, uh, where I've mixed in popular introduced, ornamental staples, ornamental garden plants that are not native or indigenous that have habitat value uh, for our local birds and wildlife. I've also compiled a list uh, of native plants that provide hollows fastest. So when we're doing habitat gardening, we have to have an eye to the future. And I know it's getting increasingly difficult to have a long-term view, but let's remain positive about the long term. Uh, so I've put together a list that I will drop. I'll probably pop that out pretty quickly. And it is native plants, trees basically, that are likely to start providing hollows for hollow nesting or uh, birds or animals that require hollows for shelter. But of course, you've got to realise that you've got a long time frame, so you can be providing artificial hollows in the meantime. Um, Now, I had one interesting and fun, well, fun because I was enjoying watching. But the interesting bird encounter I had this week was a peregrine falcon that was ser- searching, scouting way overhead over the suburban heart, the shopping centre of St Albans yesterday. So they're back. I haven't seen a peregrine for a little while here in the northwestern suburbs of Narm, Melbourne, Australia, for a little while. So, so there we are, folks. There's my list. I thought we'd get through it a little bit quicker today. It gives me the opportunity to go back to cleaning up these lists, um, and they're going to be available in a PDF form, and then for members or subscribers, uh, I'll be providing a database, um, access to a database that will be uh, so Excel or Google Sheets form for uh, four peeps. Four peeps. Okay. Well, very, very, very slow on the questions and comments today. What have I done? What have I done to offend you all? Yeah, okay. Signing off. I'm not just going to keep talking for nothing today. So um, do join me next week where I will be talking about um, similar groupings, food plants for the Neophema parrots. So the elegant, the turquoise, the rock, the blue wing, the orange bellied, the scarlet chested, that group of parrots. And maybe the Sophotis, like the mulga parrots and others. Uh, I just see people popping in. Good morning. Hello Twitch. Hello YouTube, and hello Facebook. Uh, does anyone have a question or a comment for this morning? Now that I have sort of been through the finch list, and look out on the socials. I'll be posting uh, where to download the uh, the sheets, and I'll make up a little video or something with the links and spread them around. We'll get to that hopefully today as well. So, been very, 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 very productive week. I know you haven't seen it yet, but there's a lot of good information that will be out for everyone soon. I just noticed that I haven't put a brand or a link or anything on any of these documents, so I need to change that. Or probably, yeah, I do. All right, folks. Thanks for joining me again, even though nobody's talking today. We will see you next Saturday morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in Australia. Enjoy your weekend. Uru.